Rahab, she was again very unique, a very as I said, legendary. Her life was very, her recording was very unique. She was found in the genealogy of Jesus. In the genealogy of Jesus. So for Rahab, as a Gentile woman, who had nothing to do with the Israelites, who had nothing to do with salvation, who were supposed to perish and die when the city of Jericho collapsed. She were meant to be destroyed along with the evil city. It was meant to be, but she was able to create a different pathway that save herself, also save her family. Not only her life was spared, but she was able to be enlisted in the genealogy of Jesus as the ancestor of King David and also that of Jesus Christ. So in the genealogy of Jesus, we found Rahab, and we also found another woman. Her name is Ruth. Both of them are Gentile, but despite their natural birth as a Gentile, they were able to create an outstanding and an extraordinary life path that they were remembered by that generation, recorded in the Bible, and share the glory from the above. So as we said earlier, you might not be able to determine your natural environment, your family, your parents, your environment. You cannot control. You were born with the look, the height, the IQ. There was all those that you are unable to control. Just like as we mentioned in the prayer session, the master craftsman Huron. He was born, his mother decided to marry a Gentile and relocated to the foreign land. He needed to grow up facing a different culture and dealing with all the pressure from the environment. But he was able to live out a different life. He did not allow the environment to defeat him, but he was able to overcome against all the odds and able to live out an extraordinary life. Okay? You know what? Quite often we attribute all our problem to other people. Today I am this and that because my parents, because my environment, or if my father is very wealthy, or if my family is doing so well, we constantly trying to shift the pressure that the reason that I am not getting a good grade is because that my father is not smart enough. Okay? That sometimes we do all this. It's the teacher's fault. It's the school's fault. It's everyone's fault other than me. But you know what? You can complain all you want. You can shift the blame all you want. It doesn't change the fact it is your life and you have to bear the consequence. It doesn't matter. You know that in this generation that our school system in Asia, Taiwan, in here, same thing. That they care so much about your sensitivity. Which means that they don't want to do anything or say anything that might make you feel bad. You got traumatized and you were hurt, so you have to sue the school, right? Something like that. Yeah. So you know that nowadays in this generation, it's all about make you feel that you are a-okay. Still remember that when my son was younger, in the school they have the sports competition, running, all those kind of things for little kids. And I saw like whole bunch of kids running here, running there. I was like looking back and forth. Who is winning? Who is winning? And at the end, they all come to the front, and the principal said, "Congratulations, everybody won." I was like, wait. I saw there were some in the front, some in the back. So everybody won? I guess everybody won. Yeah, everybody gets a small trophy. Yeah, we are the winner. I'm not, I mean, honestly speaking, I don't like it. I think it's pretty, I don't know. It's just, I don't know what to say. But maybe it's for the healthy mentality that you grow up not feel inferior, not feel defeated. Maybe it's good for you. But let me tell you, once you go outside into the real world, nobody will pamper you like that. Trust me, I work in a big company as a human resource manager for a few years. We airplane your resume. Now, you know what? It's unfair to say that we just airplane. I do some work, okay? I mean, they pay me for a reason. Hey, excuse you. All right? Airplane or the blowing by the fan who see that and to see which one goes the farthest is not the only thing that we do, okay? We do some work. But the thing is, there is nothing called everybody win in the real world. There's no such a thing. There is no such a thing. If you don't know what you are doing, like, you know what, going through 100, 200 resumes, you know what we look? First of all, we look at your resume if you know what you are doing. If you, when you write resumes, if you write a lot, you get automatically eliminated. Did you realize that? You write too much, that means you don't know what you are doing. You need to learn how to write resume. Second, the format is required. If you write some place with bold font, some place with 14, some place with 11, and they are very crowded, anything that make me reading it with difficulties, that I don't like the format, it goes to a shredder. Do your homework. And the most important thing is if you were able to at least have a clean resume. When we are engaging interview, that's what matters the most. We don't really ask about your education. Honestly, if we are hiring someone, education is the least thing that we look at. That's because usually we hire someone with experience. If we are hiring entry level, then of course there's nothing else to look. Then we just want to talk to you. We want to talk to know what kind of person you are, your personality. Okay, are you a team player? Okay, are you like able to understand in a better analytical ability? You know, that's what we are looking at. Why am I talking about all this? I have no idea. Yeah, so. All right, I lost track of why am I other than like we do airplane, like somebody started. Yeah. So let's go back. You know that either Ruth or in here Rahab, they do not have anything appealing. They were Gentiles. There's nothing in the eyes of the Israeli environment that were positive. They were good for nothing. They were supposed to perish. Rahab, what did the Bible say about her? The Bible says that she was a prostitute, a harlot, a prostitute. From generations ago, in the ancient time until today, being a prostitute is the longest living career in human history. It has been there since the beginning. But in generations, in centuries, being a prostitute is never anything honorable or respectful. Okay? In the past, were like this. Even until today, it's not something that people take pride of to be a prostitute. Okay? The society, it's more difficult for the society to accept. Even we know it's there, it exists, but it's not the society as a whole, the culture-wise, it's not easy to look at this career and treat it no different than any other career. People look down on prostitution or being a harlot. You know, the interesting thing is, she is the ancestor of King David. She is the ancestor of Jesus Christ. But the Bible had no problem that tell you that she was a prostitute. She was a harlot. The Bible never powdered it. The Bible never powdered it. The Bible never said, oh no, she is not. You know what? I was reading one of the reference book. The thing is, the reference book, I think they just want to make the situation not so embarrassed for her. And they say, no, she is not a prostitute. She is a female innkeeper. Because, well, apparently, you can call her house an inn. Maybe that's also because, you know, the two spies went there, right? And they have a place to stay high on the balcony and stuff. So I was reading the reference book and say that they try to beautify the situation. Yeah, because she was the ancestor of Jesus and David, right? How can the ancestor of Jesus to be a harlot? So they try to convince you, no. She is just an innkeeper, like 老板娘 like innkeeper. Let me tell you, the word harlot, it doesn't matter what version, it only translates to one thing: prostitute. There is no other explanation for that word, for that vocabulary. The only interpretation for that vocabulary is harlot, prostitute. The one that trade their body for money. There's no other way. There's no other interpretation. But see, the Bible shows no mercy in exposing her awful past. Okay? A past that you cannot take pride. She was a prostitute. But the thing is, the Bible specifically, purposely, openly tell you about her path, her dark path, by allowing you and I to know. You are unable to change what has happened, but you are able to make the differences of what is ahead, the future. It all depends on what is your decision and choice today. That's the whole idea. The Bible never powder it. The Bible never cover it. What had happened in the past has happened. But you cannot change the past, but you can make a differences of your future. Like her. As a harlot, she was able to make a differences and become one of the most respected, honorable female in the Bible. Yeah, by her choice. By her choice. Okay. So now we found what are the reasons. We want to touch upon the reasons that she was able to earn herself the respect of God. She actually earned her respect from God and from the people of Israel. Okay? So that so of course later on she was married into the house of Israel. Okay? Not only she did not die, which she would, like everyone else, like the people in Jericho. Not only she did not die, but she was able to marry into the house of Israel, into the tribe of Judah. So there are a few reasons. Why. There are a few choices that she made that enables her to live out a different life. Number one, let's go back to chapter 2. Let's go back to chapter 2. Oops. Okay. Hold down. Loading. Joshua chapter 2. Okay. So you know what? Let's go to chapter 2 in verse 8. In verse 8. Verse 8. And now before the spies lay down, she came up to them on the roof and said to them, I know that the Lord has given you the land, and that the terror of you have fallen upon us, and that all the inhabitants of the land never have despaired because of you. For we have heard how the Lord dry up the water of the Red Sea before you, and how when you came out of Egypt, what you did to the two kings of the Amorites who were beyond the Jordan, the Sihon and Og, who you utterly destroyed. When we heard this reports, our heart melted, and no courage remained in anyone any longer because of you. That the Lord your God He is God in heaven above and on the earth. Okay. Okay. You know that in here, this is the beginning of the engagement of the conversation. The two spies were on the run. And then they went to Rahab's inn, hotel, whatever. The two spies were there and she hid them. The reason she hid them, she said that we heard. But in the conversation, what did she say? We heard how the Lord, your God, showed the mighty power and dried the Red Sea when you came out of Egypt. It doesn't bother you? When did that happen? 40 years ago. The news seems kind of slow. Yeah. So after 40 years, finally it get to the city of Jericho. Yeah. She said a few things. She said how the Lord dried the Red Sea, how you utterly destroyed the two kings of Amorite. That's happened more recent. However, that's not my focus. My focus is that she said that we all know the whole city. It's not that she has like a special channel that she was giving this unique revelation that angel came and said, hey, Rahab, remember? No, everybody knew. The whole city, from the king to the peasant, everybody knew that Israelites is here. And they destroyed the two kings in the wilderness. And their God, dried the Red Sea. So they all know. The problem is not about knowing the news. The problem is what are you going to do about it after you learn about the power of God? You know, as I say, from the king to the peasant, everybody know. And even not only know that, she said that our heart were melted. Okay? It's not just for herself. It's not just about her or just for herself. In verse 9 said that the Lord has given you the land. That's her conclusion. She was giving the news. She learned about the act of God. Okay? It has been passing along, finally reaching Jericho. I heard about it. I learned about it. We were terrified of the news. But then she said, I know that the land has been given to you because your God says so. That's called faith. You know that the whole city were giving the same news. The whole city. From the king to the peasant, the whole city were given the news. But you are giving the news doesn't mean that you will believe in God. So the king of Jericho, he knew about what the God of Israel did. So what he did is he tried to capture the spy. He shut the gate of the city. He was equipped and ready to war with Israel. I mean, at least defend his city. You know what? You can hear about the gospel. You can learn about the work of God. You can understand the teaching in the Bible, but doesn't mean you will subject yourself to the authority of God. The problem is not about knowing. Just like in here, you are all here, spend 2 weeks learning, trying to understand what did the Bible say. But what after that? You can be like the king of the city of Jericho, kill the messenger. No, not me. You can, Pastor Andrew, younger, yeah. You can kill the messenger. You can stone the messenger. You know, you can get rid of. Oh no, you say what you say. I do what I do. Yeah, God is awesome and mighty. But you know what? I prefer my way of living. You could. It's by choice. It's by choice. Like they were all giving the same information, but the choice of Rahab versus the choice of the king of Jericho, different. So their result and consequence different. It's by choice. So then here, number 1, Rachel, she cherished the message. And by learning and knowing the way of the Lord, she reached the conclusion of faith. That's the conclusion of faith. You know, at this very moment, even Joshua had no idea how to conquer. They don't even know how to get through the Jordan River. They have no idea. All right. Number 1, they don't know how to cross Jordan. Number 2, facing Jericho, the city wall, there's nothing that they can do. Okay? It's not like today, you just take a bazooka, right? You know, military, you're like, oh, you can, you just grab your partner, stuff it into the cannon, and boom, shoot the person into the city. There are better ways. Right? What I'm saying is, nowadays, military dealing with city wars, there are ways. In the ancient time, there's very little. Especially, you have to remember, they were like travel they were wandering wandering in the desert for all this year. It's not like they were able to bring the equipments, weaponries that they can besiege a city. They can't. Usually in the ancient time, if you want to surround a city until it fall, you need 10 times of the military power. So if you need to like the defense power in the city, you have to multiply by 10 in order to besiege a city. In the ancient time, besieging a city is extremely difficult. Sometimes it takes years, okay, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years before you are able to take on the city. And Israel, they got nothing. All right. They were wanderer, nomad. They have no land, no crops, no food. They are unable to wait for the city to fall. Even at this time, if you use your rationality to evaluate, there is no way for the people of Israel to conquer Jericho, let alone conquer the land of Canaan. They are really on the lower wind. Like they don't have any advantage. Any some person say, oh, you know what? We just stay in the city of Jericho and we can mark them. The people of Israel, what you going to do about it? That's the normal mind. But apparently the Rahab is not normal. By hearing the word of God, she believed the word of God already. By hearing the work of God, she believed that the land, one way or the other, we will lose because your God says so. That's called faith. Okay? Okay, so this is the first one. Her faith saved her and her family. 1 minute. Number 2. When you have to understand one thing. The Bible told us that the king knew the spy went to her place. It's not like a random search. It's not like making a broadcast. If you see the spy, send it to us. It's not. The king were able to pinpoint, you, Rahab, you got the spy. So they send the soldier, they send the people, say, hand them over. It's not a random unknown. The king know exactly the spy went to her house. What is the second thing? In order for you to be safe, you need to be willing to take the risk, pay the price. She could be killed for treason. She could be killed for turning her back against the city of Jericho. She could. When the king said, hand the spy over, and she said, oh, I don't know what you're talking about. She is jeopardizing her life for a possible salvation of her and her family. If you don't pay the price, you will never receive the honor. If you never want to sacrifice, you will never obtain glory at the end. Remember that. Journey of faith is always about sacrifice. Okay? But today, if you always want to play an easy way out, looking for shortcuts, trying to dodge responsibility and always compromise, you know what? At the end, you will not go anywhere and you will not win any honor from the Lord. Faith is always about choice. The choice that you decide, for the sake of the Lord, I will do the right thing. Even that means I need to suffer. Even that means sacrifice. Without sacrifice, without suffering, there is no honor in the presence of the Lord. Look at the Bible. You tell me which one respected by which person respected by God never put forth any suffering. There's none. Everyone. Suffering brings glory. Sacrifice make your life meaningful and purposeful in the eyes of the Lord. Remember that she was willing to put her life at stake in order to earn a bigger hope of salvation. And she won. And she won. God never let her down. Okay. So our time is up. We will continue. Let's all pray in silence.